Welcome to Catastrophic Science, the series that reveals new discoveries that have resulted from disasters.
You might have seen news footage like this before. Storm surges, a massive build-up of water following a cyclone or storm. In Rarotonga, the Cook Islands, locals certainly noticed the storm surges, but they couldn't work out why the waves were bigger than expected. So a team of engineers from UNSW Australia went to investigate, and they came up with new research that might help similar countries in the future.
Matt, can you explain what you found in Rarotonga?
Like most Pacific Island countries, the whole island is fringed by a coral reef and a lagoon system. And that's quite different to what we see on traditional coastlines like what we have in Australia. What we've found is under normal conditions, the reef provides a layer of protection. During cyclones, it actually makes the problem worse. Our research is a little bit different to what's been done in the past because we use the scale physical model in our wave tank as opposed to computer modelling. The physical models actually allowed us to drill down in a lot more detail and get a much better understanding of what's actually going on in the individual wave dynamic. The first wave in a large group of waves with relatively shallow water in the lagoon, it will travel reasonably slowly across the lagoon. Then what happens is as the lagoon starts to get deeper and deeper, subsequent waves will come through and travel faster and faster. And so those waves actually catch up to one another and can actually pile on top of one another. That water depth can increase in a matter of minutes by 1 metre, maybe 2 metres. And then of course you have waves coming through over the top of that. And that's actually part of the reason why these events have been so destructive.
So is the town prepared for such a big cyclone?
Not to the degree that they should be. Of course, they've had mid-range cyclones, category 2 and 3, directly impact them over the last few decades. But what we saw in 2005 was that they actually had about 4 category 5 cyclones went nearby, but none of them were a direct hit. Had they have been, it would have been very, very destructive to the town. Certainly we would expect at some point in the future another category 5 cyclone to have a direct impact on the island, and from our research that would actually be quite devastating. All these main infrastructure items lie right along the coast, very low lying, like the international airport, their main seaport, the main town, their Parliament House, and they would all be severely damaged during a large cyclone, which would make recovery efforts very, very difficult. You have no access from international aircraft, from international aid ships. Also, what we found from our research was that a lot of safe havens or the cyclone shelters that have been established throughout the town for people to evacuate to would actually be inundated for a short period of time and would be cut off from access.
Oh, that's insane.
A lot of the fundamental research from the wave tank testing can be applied to other areas, other islands with a similar sort of reef structure to help them also assess what their vulnerabilities are to storm surge. It's much better to be able to plan ahead for these things than to wait until an event actually causes a lot of destruction and then work out what's actually going on.